The U.S. government is sending mixed signals about the origin of the novel coronavirus. The U.S. intelligence community, like the people who allegedly work with the intelligence community in the biowarfare community, have from the very beginning been screaming at the top of their lungs that this virus was not made in a lab. It's natural. It came from bats. But then, somewhere along the line, a new chorus erupted from a certain corner of the Trump administration and their allies, saying that, well, that may be true, but we are more and more sure that it escaped from the Wuhan lab. And so now there's a conflict between Trump and the intelligence community here in the United States, where Trump himself and some of his allies, including Pence, are strongly asserting that they have seen alleged evidence, which they don't describe, that the virus came from a laboratory in Wuhan, whereas the intelligence community is still very vague about that. In either case, I think that what we're seeing here is politicized intelligence, just like what we had after the 9/11 and the run-up to the Iraq War, the weapons of mass destruction. In that case, the intelligence community did not have any reason to believe that there were any weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And likewise, much of the intelligence community, the part that was actually aware of things, understood that 9/11 itself had been a false flag. So they were forced to lie, to keep their mouths shut about things that they knew, and to allow the Bush administration to push through a politicized intelligence rush to try to blame Iraq for weapons of mass destruction. Well, this year, now we're seeing the same thing happening with the Trump administration, which also is full of neocons, only some of these neocons are as hateful and aggressive towards China as the original neocons were towards the Islamic world. And so these people are now trying to blame this COVID-19 crisis on China. And they're going to use this to try to grab trillions of dollars in reparations from China. They're going to try to steal China's U.S. treasuries. And this could lead to an all-out economic and possibly military war between the U.S. and China. My interpretation of this is that the very people in the Trump administration, that is the neocons who are now trying to blame China, are the ones who, in fact, sent the coronavirus to China. It was indeed made in a lab, probably not using advanced recombinant DNA techniques, simply using old-fashioned techniques, which Merrill Nass, who was a world-class biological warfare expert, said on my radio show was very likely the way this was made, and that in fact the official line from the CIA-connected biowarfare scientists claiming that it wasn't made in a lab is obviously a ridiculous lie that they themselves cannot possibly believe, because it would be easy to make something like this in a lab. So my interpretation is this is a U.S. biowar attack on China and Iran. It either got out of control in a blowback situation, but more likely, I think that the people behind this actually intended everything that we're seeing right now. Those people want to wreck the entire world economy to take down China. They know they can't wreck China by making it race-specific or they'll get caught. So they're going to wreck the entire world economy, and they want to destroy the American economy so they can rebuild it on a war footing to go to war with China. And that's the direction we're heading right now, with Trump's statements, with the attempts to blame China, and with the lockdown in America, the destruction of free speech in America. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep saying things like this as we move into an all-out World War III footing with China. And all of this is based on the U.S. biowar attack, which is what the coronavirus really is.